Alright YouTube, so today we're gonna work on the turbo BMW build. And first, what the? What? So before we start the video, one thing I do want to say is that yes, we have traded the BMW away, even though we were getting ready to start a cool project with it. But the next car is so fitting for the channel. One of the first videos that ever got any popularity was of one of these cars, and I've always been surrounded with these cars since I was little. My uncle had one that sat right next to my dad's car in my grandma's driveway for years, my Datsun. So the car that we're moving on to, big history with me, with the channel, and they're just awesome cars in general.
One new axle and one not.
That's nice, you know? Yeah. So as stated, the project for the BMW, the stuff has changed a little bit, and now we are working on 87 Starion. So I post cars, and I'm going to clear a couple of things up for some people. I post cars when I get cars, depending on the car. This car will never get posted because I'm not going to get rid of it. This is one of my dream cars. But like the M3, I loved it. It's a great car. But it's something that, like, if I found something cooler, I'm willing to get rid of it. There's just certain cars like that. And so I posted it with the intent that if somebody offered me my full asking price or a car I wanted, I would get rid of it. I went through an ordeal that some of you may have seen where a guy had misled me on the internet. He had said his car was super clean. He said there was no problems with it, and if my car was clean and ran as good, then he would add cash. So I was like, cool. It was an FCR X7. It looked pretty good in pictures and stuff. I got there, and as you know, never feel pressured into trading somebody just because you've agreed to it, but like beforehand. And it's like that agreement isn't the full agreement yet. You still have to look at each other's cars. So when I got there and looked at the car, immediately it was a weird situation. Dude started loading stuff into my car and loading my stuff out of my car into his car. I'm like, dude, hold on. We haven't driven each other's cars yet. So it wasn't in as good a shape. That's fine. But so I wanted to think on it, and the guy got all mad. Whatever. Big crybaby. Don't care. We're moving on. We traded the car. This is a car that will stay with me forever. So I just wanted to let you know, you don't have to feel pressured into trading somebody a car just because they made a trip. I even gave the dude money, cash, for his time, which is more than anybody else would have done. Here's the thing. If you're going to trade a car, just don't mislead somebody. Just tell them everything you could think of that's wrong with the car. I try to be as transparent as possible. The dude who drove 3 hours to bring me this car knew everything about my car. And it was the same thing. If I tell you I'm going to trade you something, you know everything about the car. So we got a Starion here. This is what we're going to be working on going forward. This car is an 87. It has 74,000 original miles. It has a little bit of work, but this car, I'm just going to drive this car for a while. I'm going to lower it, spacers, do some refresh, some bushings, and make some videos about some MKS stuff because Mikey's a good friend of mine, and we're going to make some stuff for MKS. I'm going to replace the steering coupler soon. It's bad, but like other than that, this car runs, drives, it's great. So we're going to do some stuff with the tractor engine that's in it, the G54B, and then eventually we'll move on and we will, I don't know, 4G, JZ, who knows what we'll do. We won't LS swap this because I don't want to go through all the stuff that Mike had to do with the tunnel and all that other stuff. But we may JZ, we may 4G, depending on what it takes. I'm going to do some research. But we're going to go ahead right now. This thing sounds even more like a tractor because the exhaust is cut off. Dude, look how clean it is under this car. It's ridiculous. Okay, so, yeah, so this exhaust is, somebody cut it and then gutted it and then didn't weld it back. So, we're gonna go ahead and weld it back together so that we don't have a tractor. So let's go ahead and get that done. Alright, so we all know I'm not 100% a welder, but I tacked this up there. Looks pretty good. The top looks mangled, but I didn't want to pull it all the way down. So I think we're good. We're gonna go ahead and move on to doing the steering coupler. That's the next big thing I want to do. After that, the next big thing I want to do is fix the TPS, and then I ordered suspension for this and everything. So I'm so hyped on this car. I'm so glad that the deal fell through. I'm glad the deal fell through just because of the character of where the BMW would have been going. But I am glad that I have this. This is a great car. Okay, so it's a rainy day, but we did a couple of things so far to the Starion. I don't know if I'm saying it wrong, right? Who knows? Starion. I have now one of my dream cars. Had it for a couple of days so far. Still loving this car. It's amazingly factory. It's got an HKS exhaust. It's got a short throw shifter, which is from the company that Mikey bought, so it's technically an MKS short throw shifter in it. It has, and so far what we've done to clean everything up is we fixed the exhaust. We took this purple tint off the front windows because it was terrible. We fixed the steering coupler, and I got a couple of mods coming in the next couple of days that I already ordered. So we did that. Also got rid of the really crappy looking cowl that was on it and got a factory cowl. I had to fix it, it was broken, but we got that on there. So we're in the dream whip. I am so excited to have this car. I just want to make a quick video explaining why we moved on from the BMW. It wasn't anything against the BMW. The BMW was great. But this car is something that I've wanted since I was a little kid. Quick backstory. I don't know if I should put this at the beginning or the end. But basically, the Datsun, when my dad owned it, sat at my grandma's house after it blew up. And it sat next to my uncle, his Conquest TSI. So growing up, these cars always sat right next to each other. And man, to me, that's what I always wanted. I was like, man, I would love both of those cars. So that's what we got now. Plans down the road, I think we'll probably eventually swap it. I got coilovers coming for it. I got some other stuff that we're gonna do, but eventually we'll probably swap it. We'll probably put a 2J in it, just because that's the move. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. This is the first little video about the Starion, and I appreciate your time, and thank you for continuing to support me. You have a great day. I do have merch for sale. If you want some, let me know. Follow me on Instagram, and have a great day. Like, subscribe, and keep coming back. Have a good day. Bye.